Summary of Why Be Happy When You Could Be Normal by Jeanette Winterson. The famous author Jeanette Winterson grew up in a small, working-class town in the north of England. The memoir tells the story of her rough and abusive childhood. It's also a non-fiction parallel to Winterson's award-winning autobiographical book Oranges Are Not the Only Fruit, which made up stories about her childhood based on why be normal when you can be happy. A subject she talks about a lot. Jeanette Winterson grows up in a home that doesn't have any happiness or joy. She was adopted at 6 months old by Mr. and Mrs. Winterson, who are a faithful Pentecostal evangelist Christian couple who don't have any children of their own. Her mother always tells her that when she and her husband chose Jeanette at the Adoption Society, the devil led them to the wrong crib. Mrs. Winterson is crazy about the end times and the coming of the end times, so she hurts Jeanette mentally and makes Mr. Winterson hit her. Jeanette is often locked out of the house and left on the street, or she is taken to the family's stuffy coal hole. Some good things happened in Jeanette's childhood. For a while, she enjoys the exciting tent revivals at her family's church, and her deep love of books and literature gives her comfort and a sense of belonging. But overall, she is very unhappy. She can't make friends, is afraid of being left alone, and is constantly hurt by her violent parents. Jeanette falls in love with Helen, an older girl from church, when she is 15 years old. As soon as Mrs. Winterson finds out that the girls are dating, she and her family and the church make Jeanette go through an exorcism, which hurts her and her parents deeply. A year later, Jeanette starts dating a friend named Janie again. When she does, she gets kicked out of the Winterson home and starts living in her Mini Cooper. In the end, Mrs. Ratlow, the head of English at Jeanette's junior college and a kind and strange person, takes her in and helps her do well on her entrance tests to Oxford, which leads to an offer of admission. Jeanette is annoyed by how male-dominated Oxford is, but she grows to love reading and books even more, and she feels like the world is opening up for her. After a bad trip home for Christmas after her first year of school, Jeanette says goodbye to her mother and will never see her again. The story jumps ahead to 2007 and finds Jeanette struggling in her life. She is now a famous and praised author, but the demons from her past have finally caught up with her. Following the end of a troubled relationship, Jeanette tries to kill herself but fails. She then learns that she needs to face the creature inside her, the angry and scarred younger version of herself who has been a threat to her all her life. After some time to heal, Jeanette sets out to find her real mother with the help of her new partner Susie. Jeanette found her birth certificate while cleaning out her dad's house after his second wife died. This made her think about her family history in new ways. As Jeanette, Susie, and her social worker Rhea try to get through the distant and unhelpful government agencies that keep the truth about Jeanette's past and the name of her birth parents from them, they run into a lot of red tape and brick walls. Through sheer determination and brave detective work, Jeanette eventually finds out who her real mother is, a woman named Anne S., who lives outside of Manchester, and gets back in touch with her. When the book ends, Jeanette has found some peace by getting back in touch with Anne, but she still doesn't know how she feels about her real mother or what her future holds.
About the author. Jeanette Winterson was born in Manchester to a factory worker who was 17 years old. She was adopted by the Winterson family 6 months after she was born and grew up in Accrington, an industrial city in northern England, with Pentecostal evangelical Christian parents. Winterson was raised to be a missionary, but after coming out as a lesbian at 16, she had to leave home, live in her car, and work odd jobs to pay for college at Oxford University. Winterson's autobiographical story Oranges Are Not the Only Fruit was her first book. It came out soon after she graduated, when she was only 25 years old. The book was a huge hit, and it was later turned into a serial TV show for the BBC. Winterson wrote the script, and the show's premiere in 1990 got even more praise and attention. Winterson writes a lot. She has written more than 25 fiction, nonfiction, and children's books. In 2006, she was made an officer of the Order of the British Empire. She lives in the Cotswolds.
Hope we summarized it fully and you liked it. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so that we are motivated to create more videos.